Hello, everybody. Welcome back to your favorite podcast. This is episode 12 of the Lazy Podcast. I hope you've all had a good weekend. Today, I want to talk about how I made $1 trillion million bazillion dollars on Shopify in my first month of running my business. That's a joke, of course, but I want to talk about these gurus that you see online, whether it's TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, that tell you all about of how to run a business and how to run an Amazon FBA or how to sell on eBay or how to sell anything, and within your first month make a lot of money and just make it look so easy and make it look so possible and make it look like you don't have to do a lot. You just need to start doing it and make it look like it's cheap and make it look like it's just nothing really. And why I think they do more harm than they help people, because they just show a reality where it's not possible, and they just show something that it might happen for someone, but it's not gonna happen for everyone, and certainly it's not gonna happen within that short amount of time. And just having those kind of people telling you that it's so easy to do and you just need to do it, and I started doing it, and within the first month I saw this, and they show you all these sales I've made on Shopify, for example. And Shopify is a platform that I have a certain amount of knowledge, let's say. I've been running my Shopify business for almost a year now, and I've been looking around Shopify, and I've researched a bit. And one thing that I do know is, if I wanted to be devil's advocate, I could just say that because on Shopify you can go on and create your own orders and make it look like someone is paid, or create a lot of orders. I'm not saying that everyone does that and posts it on social media to make it look like success, because success is something that you can sell these days. So most of the times these people will just show you screenshots and sort of proof that they might have that they've done this, even though they might have done. But it's very easy to go and create your orders and make it look like, and then be like, look, I've done it in the first month, so buy my course now for £200 and you'll do it yourself as well. And too often people will fall victim of that, because you will see that someone has done it in such a quick amount of time, and then you're like, okay, so maybe he has some tips, or he has a secret that he's not sharing and he's gonna share in his course or in his book or whatever he's selling. And another running theme that I can see with these gurus, whatever platform they are in, it just seems like they always have an answer of how to do it within 30 days. Get it done within 30 days. And there's a business that I follow on TikTok, or I see a lot of on TikTok. And this is this girl, she's about 18, I think. And she was making this video that, I applied for all the unis, and then I cancelled my uni applications because I'm running my business, and within 2 months I was able to do it myself and all of that. And she's giving that vibe that you don't need to go to uni, or look, I did it, so everyone can do it. And then some of the people, which may be true, but some people were commenting on her video that, okay, you have worked hard for it. Of course you have, because, it needs a lot of work. But you have to admit that it was a bit of luck, because, everything to fall in place, that's what luck is. And this girl made a response video. You can reply with videos on comments on TikTok. And then this girl made a response video and saying, no, it wasn't luck, I'd worked so hard. And the fact is that it takes a bit of luck, because tons of people start businesses every day and they don't go viral on TikTok. And this girl started it and she went viral, and from then it just kind of blew up and all of that. And that's fine, that's very good for her. But the vibe that what I'm trying to describe here is that it's dangerous to put that sort of content out there, because younger people, or even people her age, because she's very young on her own, I think she's about 18, see that and they think, see, I don't want to. I don't need to go to uni. So they will take that as a sort of means to, you don't need to work hard because that will just happen. But as I said, it will not happen for everyone. Tons of people start businesses, tons of people do things. You've got thousands of people uploading videos on YouTube and they never go viral, or they never make a career out of this, or stuff like that. So it's very dangerous from people to make that sort of assumption that I did it, you can do it. And a lot of people that are younger are very impressionable, and they will take that as a means to, like, yeah, see, it happened for her, so I don't need to work, I don't need to go to uni, all I need to do is just start this or start that, basically. So the theme here, in my opinion, is that it takes a lot of hard work, it takes time. For some people it doesn't, for some people it takes time, but the conclusion is that you need a bit of everything to succeed. You need hard work, of course, you need a bit of luck, you need things to fall in place, and you need things to go your way sometimes, and not they don't always go your way, and that's how it is. Another thing that we see on social media is the positive influencers, and take a leap in your life and wake up early and see the sunshine. And I'm watching these videos and I'm there like, okay, Karen, I would do that on a Saturday, but you have to remember that every other day of the week I have to wake up early and go to work, which is something you don't have to do. And it's easy for you to say wake up at 6 a.m. on Saturday when I've been doing that all week. Okay. Another sense of like false positiveness that you get from social media, that just do it, it's easy, you just have to do it, and you just have to wake up early and go see the sunshine and take a leap and all that, which is fine. The thing is that not everybody sits at home to make their living, basically. And the other thing is, what is up with everyone waking up at 4, 5, 6 a.m? Why would you do that? Why would you wake up that early? You know that you need to sleep 8 hours, right? So if you wake up at 4, then you go to sleep at 6 p.m. because that's human nature, that the organism needs 8 hours of sleep for you to be able to function and for you to be able to do things. So why would you not just wake up at 8 like a normal person, or at 9 if it's a weekend, and then do whatever you were going to do and go to bed at 10 p.m., for example? I don't understand what is the obsession with waking up so early. And often you see these social media influencer managers, whatever, and they wake up at 5 and they do their workout and they have their breakfast at their very fancy house, and then they just be like, oh, I'm just gonna do my work by the pool and all of that. And it's like, normal people don't work by the pool. Normal people have to go to work, to whatever they do, to their office, to whatever they do. It's just this false reality that social media gives you, like, oh, I'm just gonna do a bit of work and then I'm just gonna relax. No, that it doesn't work like that. When you go to work, most of the times you have to work for 7.5 hours and you get a half-hour break to yourself. So no, it does not work like that. I'm sorry. So many times you see it on these videos, like a day in the life of whatever, a day in the life of a social media manager, and you see that they just chill in their laptop for a little bit and they'll be like, yes, such a productive day. I was like, no other workplace does that happen. It's just fake and it's just not real. But people see these and they get a sense of their life is so shit. Look at how well they're doing. They just worked for 2 hours by the pool and then they can just go have dinner, lunch, drinks, whatever they want to do. So it's just fake. It's not real. And if you go to a real workplace, you, as I said earlier, you have to work for 7.5 hours. You have a half an hour or an hour breaks if the workplace is generous with your break, and that's how it is. You do that for 5 days a week, or some people do it for 6 or 7 days a week. And when you see that, it just makes you feel like shit. It just makes you that your life is shit and that you're not doing anything apart from going to work or home and work and all over again for 5 or 6 or 7 days a week. And that's that's the thing about especially Instagram. You see this a lot, but you start seeing it on TikTok as well, and you see it everywhere, even YouTube not so much, because YouTube has been around for a lot longer than these platforms, that people sort of kind of know that, people, things on YouTube, they get edited and they show the good bits and all of that. But places like TikTok and Instagram, for example, they thrive on things like that to show you a reality where no one's living like that. No one ever works at a place like that, by the pool or in Dubai or whatever. So it just gives you this false, reality that's not even true. So that's my problem with all these guru shit that you see around, like, people starting their business when they're 16 and by the time they're 17 they're multimillionaires. It's just impossible, and it's just, it gives the wrong lessons to younger people. That's what I'm saying, basically, because it wasn't long ago, or a few years ago, I would see this stuff and I'd be like, damn, look at that, they just did it, and how can I not do it? Or you see these, like, how to grow on Instagram really quickly, grow on Instagram within the month, how I went from 0 to 100,000 followers on TikTok within a week, and that stuff is not possible. It takes a bit of luck, it takes a bit of everything to fall in place. And most of the times, if you see the most successful people on social media or YouTube or whatever, they will say that I was doing videos for years and years and nothing happened, and then at some point it just happened, and it was lucky, and that's it. So it's just all these tips and tricks, and it's for the generation, basically. It's a whole other new generation. Like my parents' age, people would grow up and would want to be actors, and they would want to be on TV, and they would want to be famous. But now everyone can be famous, and it's like what Ricky Gervais said. It's like being famous for being famous. It's sort of like the Kardashians or whatever. Like, no one knows why they're famous, but they're just famous because they're everywhere. I don't know. But that's the thing, though. It's just younger people now. Like, I've got my cousins and, like 10, 12, 15-year-old kids that they see YouTubers, and that's what they want to do. They want to be influencers. It's just what's popular right now, basically. And when they're watching these videos, they're prepared to do anything, basically, to go viral or to be famous on the internet. But the reality is that you could be posting for years, and you could be posting 5 times a day, 10 times a day, 15 times a week, or whatever, and nothing will happen. And then you post once, and something could happen. So luck is part of it. The other thing I wanted to talk about is, which might be a bit controversial, but looks have absolutely to do with whether a video or a creator will do well or not. And this, as I said, might be very, very controversial, but I don't see a world where likes of Addison Rae and the D'Amelio sisters, or I don't know, like Bryce Hall, or like other good-looking creators out there, would be as famous if they weren't good-looking, if they were just, average like the rest of us. Because even their content most of the time relies on them showing how good-looking they are, and them showing, like their dance moves or whatever. And most of the times these people know what they're selling, and these people know why people would watch, or why people would click. It looks like I'm absolutely bashing TikTok creators here, but I'm not really. I'm just saying what it is and what I see and what a lot of people see. It's like most of the time they would find something that's popular at the time, and they will exploit that to the maximum. And in combination with all of those things that I just mentioned, they will just be famous for being famous. And the fact is that, not everyone will succeed in that, and you have to be extremely lucky, because They have no particular talent. Again, it sounds like I'm bashing them. I'm not, but they don't have a particular talent. Their dancing is not like professional or anything, and as I said, it's just purely coincidental. It's circumstantial that a lot of these TikTok stars got famous, and I think it's just completely based on how they look and completely based on their age as well. That's very important, the age demographic, that a lot of younger people can relate to them. I don't know if they can relate to them, like in the sense of how their lives are, because these people are multimillionaires and they live in mansions and they live with security and they have millions of followers. So they can't really be, your friendly neighborhood, the girl next door or the guy next door anymore, because they're, as I said, multimillionaires. And last point that I want to talk about is how all of a sudden everyone is an investor. I don't know if anyone has noticed this or it's just me, but everywhere, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere you hang out, you see everyone's an investor. Everyone is telling you where to invest. Everyone is telling you about your ISA allowance, and everyone is telling you about Forex robots or whatever they're called. I don't even know what they are. And it just baffles me how I often look to the comments of these kind of TikToks or Instagram posts or whatever, and you see people actually like saying, "Oh, thank you, you helped me. Oh, yeah, that's good advice." And most of the time it's like 18-year-old kids, or even I've seen there's a kid with like on TikTok, I think you can see I think he's like 16, and he's telling you to invest your money on a Forex robot, and then it will do the investing for you. And he's telling, "Oh, you can start with as low as £1,000. I'm like, who is listening to these people? Who is actually taking advice from these people? It's just ridiculous. And with what happened recently, with the likes of GameStop shares like blowing up and all of that, I think it has gotten worse, because some people made money from that, and it's just it's like what we said earlier, that's not the reality. What happened with GameStop? Most of the times people will invest and they will not make anything of it unless you invest a lot of money. And that painted a false reality of where you can invest a little bit of money, the price of a share will go extremely high, and then you can make money. It's the same with these social media gurus and influencers. It's just not the reality. It's not really what happens to everyday people, and it doesn't really happen. It might happen once in a while, like it happened with the GameStop shares and whatever shares that were blowing up, a few months ago, that everyone all of a sudden now is telling you to invest, is showing you how to invest and download this app and all of that. It's because there is a lot of money, and these apps, these investor apps, they have a lot of money for their marketing. And of course, what's easier to get money than to get a 16, 17, 18-year-old TikTok influencer to promote your app to other 16, 17, 18-year-old kids who will just download the app, will put money on it without even thinking about it. It's very shady, but that's capitalism, and that's how it works. It's just absolutely baffling how many, I scroll through TikTok, and it's crazy how many of these accounts I see. How to take advantage of that, how to invest here, invest there, download this app, download that app, it will do it for you, how to save money. And I'm like, what is happening? Everyone is a guru investor of how to make money, and most of the times, of course, these people will show up in their fancy cars and all of that, and probably it's their dad's car or something, or their mom's car or something like that, and it's just completely false. And I was shocked, like, who's taking advantage of these kids? Well, we're close to the 20-minute mark, and I think this is enough for today, taking it a bit easier on the podcast. It has been a while since I last uploaded episode of the podcast. I'm hoping I can do this more often. But let me know in the comments below, or if you're listening from Spotify or anyone else, you can reach out to me. Like, let me know what you think of all these social media gurus and start your own business, how I made bazillion pounds in 1 month, and how to invest your money, take advantage of your eyesight and all of that. It's like all of these influencers and TikTok personalities like painting a false reality in front of you. Keep the conversation going down below in the comments, and that's it for today, really. Thank you very much for listening to this episode of the podcast. If you haven't already subscribed to this channel, you can do that down below. And if you're listening from Spotify or anywhere else, you can just follow that account wherever you're listening to, and you will see the next episode I put up. Again, thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I will see you or talk to you in the next one.